Yeah, we were on a mission, got my crew at my side.
Hey, this is Ben Conway at Skeletron, and we've joined the Alliance.
From the comic shop counters to the late night site. It's the thrill of the hunt, gotta make it mine. I'm out here searching.
This is Sir Dork, and I have joined the Alliance.
Chase beast, I'm raising the stakes. Action figure alliance, yeah, we're bringing the noise. Rolling deep.
Hey, it's Sean.
It's Audrey. I'm Brenda.
And we're Strut Family Crafts, and we've joined the Alliance.
Plastic in hand, we're playing no games. From legends to villains, yeah, I got 'em all.
I'm Adam from the Nameless Toy Company, and I've joined the Alliance.
Every line, every way, from the past to the new. It's a bond, it's a crew, we're the real Toy Zoo. Tear it through the package.
I'm Travis Moody from A Toy Kind of Mood, and I joined the Alliance.
Call it a phase, this ain't just a trend. These figures got history, they're my closest friends. Action figure alliance.
I'm KJ, aka Black Dingus, and I've joined the Alliance.
From the base of the shelves, we're making a stand. This is our world, you don't understand.
I'm Mega Retro, and I've joined the Alliance.
Customs in the works, we go all night. From the rarest grills to the dudes out fights. Each one's got a story burned.
Well, I'm Jonathan from Nostalgia Unboxed, total idiot, but smart enough to join the Alliance.
With my action toys, collectors unite. We're breaking the chains, plastic in hand. We're playing no.
Hey guys, this is Ace, and Ramen Toy has joined the Alliance.
From legends to villains, yes, yeah, got 'em all. We're after legends.
Hey everyone, this is Chris Scott from Grindhouse Toys, and I'm part of the Alliance.
This is our prime. From legends to villains.
Hump day. Man, that was a crazy one. So everybody, I had a really serious bit of technical difficulty right before the show started. My USB cable that goes to my hub that everything for the show is connected to died. And that was a mad scramble. I got
Luckily you got backups, man. You're a tech
I do
guy.
have backups, but I got cables all over the place over here, like just all over my desk, because I had to reroute stuff. It was crazy.
He calls me. He's like, "Did you see my message?" I was like, "No." And he was like, I'll be there in a minute. We're good, man.
Yeah. But that's why we try to be all prepared, ready. And I had plenty of time to scramble.
Expect the unexpected. It'll always happen,
Exactly. Man. Yeah, I'm a little out of sorts because that caught me off guard. I was like, what the hell is going on? Because the last thing you ever expect is a cable. Like, what the hell? Anyway. So we haven't had a guest for a little bit, and we're coming back with a banger. So we've got Bryan from I'm Complex, and his handle on Instagram is at Bryan Lie Art. I believe is how you pronounce his last name. Super cool guy, and he makes some really awesome figures. And he's recently gotten into 12 scale.
Yeah, that's sick.
And man, I'm very excited to talk to him. He makes some very cool art, lots of neat projects, and he's got his hands in a lot of different stuff. So this is going to be a good one.
Yeah, awesome, man. Looking forward to it.
So with that, you know how it goes. It's intro time.
In a pleasant world where legends collide, tiny heroes standing side by side, guardians of playtime in disguise, action figure alliance on the rise. Join the Alliance, come take a stand, with the many armies ruling the land. Hail to the heroes, molded with might, action figure alliance, unite tonight.
Yeah, well, let's get him in here.
Yeah.
All right. What's happening, Bryan?
Hey guys,
I'm Complex.
Awesome to be here.
We should refer to you.
Appreciate you coming on, man.
No problem. Yeah, again, as I told you before, this is a little bit of out of my comfort zone, but you know what? Yeah, it's time to try new things, right?
Yeah,
So
we just hang out, talk about toys, and have a good time. So yeah,
sounds good.
it's
I'm all
always
for that.
fun. And plenty of folks here watching with us, and shout out to the replay squad. We have some folks that usually watch after the fact, so shout out to those folks. If you do watch after the fact or right now, hit up that QR code, go check out Brian's Instagram, and let's get into it.
Yeah, man. So the first thing, you do have a link tree on your Instagram that takes you to your other sites and things like that. But here in the banner, we've got your shop where you can go and you can pick up these super cool figures that we are going to learn a whole lot more about here shortly. But we always like to start it off. Well, first off, thank you for getting up. It is very early where you are, right?
Yes, 7 a.m. currently. It's all good though. I get to see my kids before they go to school. Usually, my wife does the the waking up and all that.
Yeah.
Now I get to do it with her. So
very cool.
Well, that's cool. I guess I just hit you up at the right time in the right mood, and you were like, "Yeah, sure, let's give it a shot." So, welcome again. We are super happy to have you here. But as I was getting to, we do like to get to know the person behind the action figures, as we're, mainly going to focus on here. But we want to know who you are and what got you to this point in life, and some of your background, that sort of thing. So, with that, the easy one is, how did you get into action figures?
okay, that one is actually easy. I don't know. I've just been collecting since I was a kid. My first toy was I couldn't really remember my first toy, but I remember like one of the first thing I collected was those little SD Gundams, and yeah, like my parents was always stingy with getting me toys. So yeah, I only got to buy a few kits, model kits, right after, like Lunar New Year, the Chinese New Year, with my, with my red envelope money. And yeah, that was it. I usually don't get a lot of chance to get a lot of toys, but I remember I love those little SD Gundams. I love making them, though looking back, it actually looks like crap. But yeah, I don't know. There's something about with the box, with the how it packages and all that, that just draw me into it. And then right after that, I collected a bunch of Senseiya figures. That's actually what got me into this whole kind of like mysticism and all that. Starting to learn about like constellations, blah blah. Yeah, like those are what got me into collecting, I think, action figures.
Nice.
Okay. I don't think I'm familiar with that. You call them Senseiya figures?
No, I think in America or in the Western counterpart, they call it Knights of the Zodiac.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, those things. I used to collect, like those. It was the vintage version. You should look at them. The proportions kind of wonky and all that.
Yeah.
But then I watched the show week by week, and yeah, like every week there would be some new design, some new character. And to be honest, like I don't really care much about like the story itself. I felt like the story's meh. But like I remember what drawn me into it was like every week I would be so curious. Oh, what constellation would they tackle next week? And how would they look like? So yeah, that's what's got me into it.
Cool. Okay. That's very different from the usual that we hear, which is lots of G.I. Joe or He-Man or those kind of, Saturday morning cartoons that we had in America. And it's
actually, I have those too. I have I think I used to have a G.I. Joe, and wait, no, my dad used to bring me back TMNT, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and my first one was Leonardo.
Okay.
Even though my favorite is Raphael, but
That was going to be my next question. What's your favorite turtle? Mine's Mikey.
Ah, there you go.
Yeah.
Raphael. It's red, baby.
Yeah. Nice.
That's great. That's great. So then, a lot of your background seems to be art based. Do you consider yourself like an artist or more of a creator or a little bit of both? Or how did actually coming to creating action figures and other, artworks and products, how did that come about?
Well, I think I can consider myself both. Even though, I think I'm more, I have more business tendencies than most artists. But I definitely consider myself an artist more. Even though, I wish I have the luxury of an artist where you got the business people taking care of you, even though usually those people kind of take advantage, they took a big cut, but I wish I have that, someone to kind of think about the business more, things like that. And right now, play the juggling, the balancing act can be interesting at times, let's just put it that way.
Yeah.
Nice.
But so you kind of you cross the lines a little bit from artist to businessman. I think that's a good place to be, really. I mean,
yes and no, but yeah.
So one of my questions: so, do you have a team of people you work with, or do you sculpt? Do you do the soft goods? Do you do all of that, or what?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
The people I've been working with have been working with me for the past actually more than 10 years now. We retain the same people. It's about right now about more or less about 10 to 15 people.
Okay.
So we have a sculptor, we have a painter, we have a cloth maker, and my wife is actually kind of helping me with a lot of the soft good stuff that you mentioned.
Awesome.
She actually, her background is a fashion designer, and I've always been drawn into with current fashion and all that. So combining it has been a really fun journey.
I would say that fashion is more future and it looks really cool. So she does a good job. So
thank you.
Love the designs. The look of them looks great. I mean, for us, I'm sure you know what Mezco figures are. I have a lot of Mezco, and they're consider those top tier with soft goods, and y'all's are right there, man. I love it. So
thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's really cool. So you've got an awesome team of people and creators that you work with. Would you say that the designs are mostly you, or is it a group effort? Or
no, the design are 100% me, actually.
Okay.
Sometimes I wish I have I always wanted to work with a bigger team when it comes to the design, So again, as I told you before, sometimes combining juggling the business and the art, and it can be a mess sometimes, especially when you need all of your creativity to think about designs, and then the capacity was kind of being used to think about the business side. So. Yeah, but I mean, as of the current, economic condition and the world condition, I don't feel like expanding is a good pathway. So yeah,
makes sense. Makes sense. So, do you collect? And if so, what do you collect?
Right now, man, I don't know. This is tricky because I don't want my wife to be watching this. I collect everything, man. My collection kind of changes from season to season. Sometimes I left a particular collection and then I come back to it. Year down the line. But one of the constant thing that I collect has always been mech. mech and model kit and
Okay.
mech figures. Because yeah, I don't know. Again, one of my first love was Gundams, and then like as I grow up, grow bigger, one of my biggest obsession was Evangelion. The
okay.
Evas looks
Okay.
amazing, and yeah, I don't know if you look at my a lot of my artistic sensibilities, you know, I definitely like people can definitely tell that I got inspired a lot by it.
Okay.
So
That's pretty
yeah,
cool. Early
right
on,
now I have the RGs, the model kit, the mechs. But also yeah, again like the Gundams, I still have a lot of them. I have the PGs, the RGs, the like I got like I left Gundam for a bit until they like I think it was about like what 10 years ago they started back with the RG line. Um yeah, that's when I come back to Gundam. It was like, oh, I didn't know like such a small you know figures model kit can look this awesome, you know, like it looks as awesome as the perfect grade. So yeah, like so I like that's when I started collecting back in. And yeah, I collect some Marvel stuff, but not that much because I don't really grow up with you know comic book American comic book, even though I'm very familiar with it. But yeah, I don't really collect the figures. Yeah, again, like being where I'm at, I'm mostly inspired by a lot of like Japanese stuff.
Any
So
Transformers in
yeah,
there?
that's definitely where my collection tends to go towards. But then like recently, I've been getting into like those little car, like detailed car thing. You know, like 1 by 64 scale cars, kind of like mini GT. You know, I'm not sure if you're familiar with those, but
it sounds familiar. Those are I consider the Mini GT to be like the little RC cars.
no, they're not RC. They're just like a little
Like Hot Wheels
model,
or
actually,
okay.
like a highly detailed, kind of like the upper tier from Hot Wheels.
Sure,
You know, like
Have you seen the Blockies
yeah.
vehicles? Blockies?
Oh yeah, actually I have it right next to me right now.
Oh, nice. Yeah,
nice. I like those. I like the Blockies. The Blockies, man, they're changing the game. Like I don't know how those Chinese companies does it when it comes to pricing, but yeah, they're definitely like on the move right now.
Yeah, for sure. It's kind of funny. I grew up on kind of the super robots from Japan too. Over here, we called them Shogun Warriors, and there was, you know, Mazinger and Gai King, and you know all of those. And so I have a deep love for those, and then also mechs. But I did kind of, you know, in my middle, you know, adolescence, move away from those. That was a pretty early fad that didn't last too long here in America. And so only recently have I gotten back into picking up mechs. I've been getting stuff from like Mosho Toys, CCS Toys, and I recently picked up and actually started to watch Evangelion.
Those sharp mechs, Chinese sharp mechs, you know, that will hurt you. If you touch it.
Pretty much, yeah. And so, yeah, I recently did just start watching Evangelion, and that's some weird stuff.
So we actually do have a question from someone. Do you collect any Sofubi?
Actually, not really in a sense of collecting, but I have some friends that are doing the Sofubi, and yeah, I just collect from friends. I think I have some of them in my studio laying around. Yeah, but yeah, I don't really collect them, but I have a bunch of those.
What about Transformers?
I was on actually like about last year. Like I think I spent 3 months like doing a deep dive on Transformers, and I just started collecting everything. You know, like the old ones. But I think it only lasts for a bit, because like as I was displaying it, you know, like on a counter, somehow for some reason, you know, with how plasticky they look, it doesn't really match with my other collections, kind of like
Right.
you know, like my Gundams or my Evangelions. Like the Transformers, especially, like even though like I have to say like the studio ones looks pretty good.
Yeah.
But still, right? Like with the paint application, I actually did some kind of like customizing to give
Nice.
it a little bit more, you know, like more life to the paint job.
Definitely.
But yeah, like I have like a one box full of like Transformers
Nice.
that I started buying since last year, and then like I got into the YOLO Park
Okay.
like figures.
My
and,
first
I
YOLO
love them.
parks
Like
are
yeah, I
en
don't
route
need
right
them to be
now.
transforming. Like I just need to be standing, like
Yeah.
looking awesome.
Oh. And we lost him.
Transform.
Oh,
And
he's back.
yeah, I don't know. Like maybe one day my kids can play with them.
Okay. Nice. Nice. And he's gone again.
Uh-oh.
And he's back.
We're having some connection difficulties a little
Sorry,
bit.
I'm losing it. I can't hear anything you're saying.
Can
you
hear
dropped
me?
in and
your
out a
mouth
couple of
moving.
Yeah, your connection seems to have gone a little bit south.
Are we
Can
having
you hear us
technical
now?
difficulties, guys?
We can hear you. Can you hear us? That's not good.
No, that's not good. Can you hear us?
All right.
Can you hear us?
Are we okay? No.
Yeah.
No, okay.
We can hear you fine.
I'll go
Okay.
out and I'll come back in.
Okay.
Sure, hold on. Give me
Sure.
a minute.
It's going fine, and then
Yeah,
all
dude,
of a
it
sudden-
just dropped.
yeah, it happens. It happens.
Stuff happens. Yeah. We've had to restart ourselves, so not a problem.
You know, and somebody drops a Panther head on their keyboard and backs all the way out.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff definitely happens.
Yeah.
Hopefully he will come back in, but let's see. Got decent crowd in the house. We got Evil
Yeah.
Stick coming in with a question that as soon as Brian comes back in, we will get to him. There he is.
There he is.
Now,
All right.
are you good?
I'm back. All right. I
All
can
right.
hear you guys again now.
Awesome. Awesome.
Okay. Okay.
That's part of live
Can
streaming.
you guys hear me earlier, or
Yeah,
was
we can
I
hear
just, like mouthing off?
No, we can hear you.
Sound good.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. Cool. We do have a question from chat. Evil Stick says, Brian, are you familiar with Quicks? Your figures are giving me similar vibes to the Devil Toys Bullet Pump figures.
Okay, like I'll take that as a compliment because they did such a good job. But I actually started way before Quicks.
Okay.
I think even George from Devil Toys kind of mentioned to me about, like, when I met him about, when did I met him? Like 10 years ago. I started back in 2011. So with God Complex, my God Complex series. So like I can say in confidence that yeah, George actually like he saw what I did with my figures, and then he just said, you know what, like I'm located in Hong Kong, you know, like he's close to manufacturing, so you know, like I'm gonna do it myself too. So yeah, I started way before then.
That's cool. That's cool.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean,
and Quicks is cool. Like I know Quicks too. And
Okay.
we sometimes we talk. So
right on. Right on.
So, Brian, I'd love to hear about the story behind your figures. Is there a comic? Is there a storyline? Tell us more about the story that goes with your action figures.
yes. Where should I start with this? I felt like it's been such a long journey.
Well, you know what? I'm
Looking
going
back.
to share my screen so I can actually show off a little bit why you're kind of giving us some background. Sound good?
Sure.
We will hop on over here, and is it this one? No, it's this one. Okay. You actually have this website called, what is it? God Complex.
Info.
Yep.
Nice.
Yeah.
So you want to give us a rundown of what God Complex is, who these characters are? And
Yeah, sure. Yeah, so again, right, like a aligned with my background. I think I shared before. Like I grew up with Evangelion and all that. Um, because of Evangelion, I think I started getting into more esoteric type of knowledge. Like I started searching for them. Growing up, I've always been interested with some sort of, like uh, to learn about mythology, mysticism, like origin of faith and things like that. And kind of like watching stuff like Evangelion definitely kind of like gave a boost to that. Um, yeah, and I think God Complex is just a way for me to kind of like um, channel all of my obsession when it comes to like mythology, like see how humans tick into a figure form. The way I see it is kind of like back then we have sculptures, right? As an art form, we have sculptures, we have all these decorations, like um, clay pot, things like that. But now in the modern days we have like we have figures, like as a yes as a substitute for those. It is an art form. So yeah, like in speaking of God Complex, the story behind it was I do have a story around the characters. But rather than the story itself, I kind of want to talk about what they symbolize.
Okay.
And what they symbolize kind of changes over time. Back then when I first started God Complex, definitely I was more in my youth. I was still searching for like a lot of this meaning when it comes to faith. And then um, yeah, like the way I tackled God Complex was definitely more on cynical side. I definitely have a lot of cynicism, and I definitely have a lot of sarcastic tendencies that I put into the characters. Like actually, like I enter, the character. I study the characters, but using the POV of anger. But as I grow up and as I kind of live my life and experience things, that meaning started to change. It no longer, so like if you ask me like, oh, what is the story of God Complex kind of like 10 years ago, and what is it now, like it might be completely different. I don't want to say it's completely different, it's just evolved a lot more.
Right.
Because yeah, I like right now, the way I tackle this, faiths or beliefs are definitely no longer in a cynical lens, but more of a grateful lens. So yeah, like I think that's how I look at it right now. I don't know how I'm gonna look at it 10 years from now. So
Right.
it keeps evolving. Even you can see like Inari kind of changes his design. Actually, this is his second design already. Like before, he has his previous design, and yeah, like the character changes with me, kind of thing. The way I understand them, the way I look at the world, the way I look at like kind of like modern aesthetics and whatnot. So yeah, there you go. That's kind of like the background. When it comes to the story, right now I'm still crafting it. There was I'm not sure if I should mention it here.
I love the
But-
sword coming off the arm. That's awesome. That's awesome.
So yeah, when it comes to the story, right now I'm developing, like story for each of the characters. For again, hopefully this can turn into like an animated series. And right now there's a few interested parties that are kind of like helping me push that initiative. So but I don't want to say anything more other than that. But actually, back in 2017, God Complex was published into a comic book series by Image and Top Cow.
Yeah.
You
Okay.
can search for it actually.
Nice.
Yeah. But when it comes to the story itself, yeah, at that moment, I don't really have a lot of hand when it comes to the story. The story was written by this Eisner Award winner writer. Maybe you're familiar. His name is Paul Jenkins.
Okay.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, he's the creator for the Century. Um, yeah. Um, so yeah, he helped me with crafting the story. He's definitely a very amazing writer. But I do think like along the way, when we developed the comic book series, yeah, I think it kind of lose a lot of like my original meaning when it comes to the storytelling. So yeah, like it lasted for, I think the comic books lasted for one season. I believe they, like back in 2018, they asked me if I want to renew, but there was some internal problem when it comes to the company that I was working with when it comes to the publishing the book. So I just decided, you know what, like I it I better take my IP on my own hand. So yeah, that's the story. Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty interesting because a lot of us would look at, oh geez, they turned my story into, um, an Image Top Cow comic book. I mean, that's awesome. That's a dream for a lot of us. But you're a good example of how you have, you have your vision in your head, and maybe it didn't, come out exactly like you liked it, and so you're like, okay, I'm taking this back, and I think that's very admirable, man. I think that shows that you've got a very strong bond with your creation, your art, and as well.
Thank you. Yeah, this definitely my baby. I've been working on this thing for 16 years. It grew up with me in a way. Like as my view of the world changes, as my view of the world kind of evolves, this character evolves with me. So yeah, like I don't know, like so that's why it's kind of like it's been kind of like I don't want to say challenging, but it's kind of like it's definitely been interesting to kind of to put an actual canon to the characters because like I still want to remain the characters to remain with me, but yeah, I don't know where I'm going with this. So yeah, that's just
so I have a question. A lot of your characters look really cool. Is there a specific fighting style each one of them has? Do they have a certain way that they go about warfare?
Yes, definitely. Like okay, for example, right? Like on my like Greek leaning characters, kind of like Apollo, Hermes, right? Like they're kind of like, imagine like a super rich family, like a billionaire family. Like, and that's how I see the Olympus. And each one has their own motive, and kind of like, for example, like Apollo, right? He's the golden sun, and he's actually like the god of music. So he moves like kind of like what do you call it, like the orchestra conductor. You know, like he moves his hand like he controls the stage. And that's how he about to go moving. In his boardroom, in his business meeting, and all that. That's how he moves. He moves like a conductor. So his theme is control. His theme is like he needs to be able to control the room. He needs to be the smartest in the room, right?
Right.
But then like we have sorry, my camera moved. Oh, I'm hearing echo. Are we good?
Yeah, we're good.
I think it was when you had your hand on next to it.
Probably. Yeah. And also like we have his brother, right? Like Dionysus. He's gonna move way completely different than him, right? Like he's the black sheep of the family. Like in my story, he has like the biggest club in a city or nation or whatever. He has the biggest club, and then he moves like a DJ. Like both of them are really into music. Both of them are really into into creating something new, but in a different way. Apollo uses music as kind of like more like a weapon, you know, like Dionysus kind of sees it differently, you know, like so the way he moved the kind of like the clash of style between them can make for some really interesting, you know, like anime episode actually. This kind of bleeds into the story that I'm crafting actually. I'm not
Okay.
sure if I should continue with this, but yeah, each of
Okay.
them definitely has like their own style. You know, like Hermes, I felt like I mean when it comes to modern like an established character, I think he's the closest to Flash. You know, he's the hustler. He, you know, like he's not usually in the foreground, you know, but he like when it comes to like let's say like a company structure, he probably is not like the most visible or the most important guy, but he's actually secretly he's actually the one that makes everything move, the one that makes, you know, like the company runs. You know, let's say. So yeah, each one of them has a different kind of like path.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're not really giving us a lot of what the story is. Is that because these specifics are more something that's evolving in your head, like you've been kind of alluding to, versus where it was when it was in the comic book? Or is this something you're still just, you know, kind of trying to hold back a little bit for when you get this next thing going that you're kind of talking about?
Yes. I have a story, like I have a deck right now, like but yeah, I felt like I shouldn't be talking about this right now. Like
Okay.
yeah, it's something that I want to announce and I wanna share when it happened.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, but again, like I don't want to say like yeah, like right now I just don't want to say anything before something happens. So yeah.
Okay.
Well, I mean, I can completely understand that. And hopefully that's good news. Hopefully that
Yeah.
means that something is coming that we're all going to be excited about. Okay. So I'm showing off, you know, your Instagram page right now, and you've got, you know, some of your figures and some of your artwork. How did, like, I'm fairly interested in the process of, you know, I want to make action figures. And how did you go about that? Let alone something as beautiful as these, you know, 1/6 scale figures with these really intricate, you know, soft goods and, you know, detailed sculpts and things like that that you've got with them. How did that whole process work for you?
Interesting, because if you ask me now, would I do the same thing? I don't know, to be honest. Like I think at that moment when I started, you know, like back like around like 15 years ago, I think it was a lot of it was foolishness and just bravado. I feel.
Really?
Yeah, I just felt like, you know what? I know these things. I like these things. Let's make a move.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no, I'm glad for the experience. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I'm still coming to terms with it. Actually, like, would I be doing this? Would I, like, you know, like, yeah.
So, like, how did you figure, like, okay, it seems like a long process to get from I want to do this to actually making that. Did you know people in the industry, or did you
No,
just forge
not
your own path?
again. Everything was foolishness, especially like based on where I'm at. Like I think I would have a completely different story if I'm located in, I don't know, for example, like China or Hong Kong, you know, where, you know, like proximity to a production was so much closer. But yeah, see, like located where I'm at, you know, like it's definitely not hasn't been an easy process when it comes to production, when it comes to every little layer there's a problem. You know, just simply because of where I'm located. So yeah, even like actually like the interesting thing is even like trademarking like the name God Complex was an issue because where I'm at. You know, it's a yeah, the process of registering the names took me like, I don't know, like 3 years
Wow.
of the name being rejected, just simply because there's a God in it. Because like my country where I'm at, Indonesia, is very like very religious country, so they're very like careful with this thing, But I ended up getting the name, so that's a win.
Yeah, I mean,
But yeah, that just shows you, like every little thing can be a problem here. So yeah, even like like importing, like I source some of the bodies from China, like importing them, and all that. Like even back then I used to produce my stuff in China, but due to kind of like like the how long it takes the duration of the process, and all that, I just decided, what, like I just want to make it here, and I can make it in small batches. But before, when I was still producing my stuff in China, man, just getting samples from China, like the production sample, right? Like I received it. When I got it, like I had to pay, like, I don't know, like 10 times the cost of the actual product itself, just a sample. Like the tax office would come and they would just charge me like ridiculous amount for my own stuff. It's just crazy. So yeah, and also like shipping them over, like paying the tax and all that is just been an issue. So
well, that's crazy, man. I mean, that really speaks to your desire to make these things, that you had all of these hurdles and you just kept pushing ahead, man.
Yeah, that's awesome.
No, that's what I said. If you ask me, like, if I know the problem beforehand, like creating these things, you know, and if I ask my younger self, would I do it again? And with the knowledge that I know now, I would be like, yeah, I'm not scared. There's just a lot of issues every single steps. So yeah.
So I have a question for you. As you're designing this, are you drawing it out on paper? Or are you doing it digitally on the computer? What's your design process, and how does that look? What does that look like?
Most of them are digitally.
Digital.
Most of them are like, no, I used to, again, I used to work on, my Photoshop, like, but now I don't think I've touched my Photoshop in a while. I've mostly just been using my kind of like, my iPad for my main, workstation, like, yeah.
Okay. Nice.
Okay. We do have a couple of questions from Initial Goose. Brian, if you're one of your deliciously beautiful action figures, what would it taste like? That's Goose.
Interesting question. I need some time to
Think about
answer
that
that.
one.
I don't want to just say answer off the cuff. Interesting. What kind of flavor?
Yeah. That's our friend Goose. He's a little off the wall, but we have a lot of fun with him here. So.
Yeah.
All right, we'll let you think on that one. We'll come back to that, Goose. Okay, so I'm kind of curious. Not only have you done action figures, but you've also done some pretty wild stuff in terms of working with maybe some other companies and things. And one of them that I think is really slick is you did this for the Chicago Bulls.
Yeah.
How did that come about?
Their head of content just like on my DM, and apparently he's been familiar with my work. He's been kind of like been a fan, so he's just hit me up and like, hey, you wanna collab with the Bulls? And I'm, what do you say? Of course.
It's the Bulls. Yeah, awesome.
So that's really cool. I mean, did they give you some direction on,
No, it's a free range. No, actually, no, they did. Yeah, I don't know if I can divulge it here, but yeah, like, I think I should be careful when I'm saying this, but yeah, they actually gave me pretty much a free reign. There are certain frameworks that I cannot go beyond. You know, for
Okay.
example, kind of like naming a certain player, or focusing on certain number,
Right.
or highlighting a certain brands. Let's just put it that
Right.
way, because I think we all know what Chicago Bulls can be synonymous of.
Yeah.
But yeah, like yeah, they just want me to represent like the brand itself, and not a particular uh individuals or a character, let's say, or a player. So
Right.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's just the basic frame that they give me. As long as you don't mention all of that, you're good. You can do anything you want. So
Nice. I think you
yeah.
did a good job with that. That looks great. Black, red, and white always is a great color combination. And so that's great to work with the Bulls, and you get that out of the gate. That just looks great.
Yeah, man, this is really neat. One of the other things that I saw is, did you do this for Samsung? Is that right?
Yes, I did this collab with Samsung. It was back in when Web3 and NFT was a thing. Um, yeah, Samsung decided to jump into it, and yeah, so they asked me to collab.
Nice.
That's awesome.
Yeah, this one is quite interesting. I get to meet some really interesting people through this process.
Yeah.
Interesting story about this. Actually, we ended up doing a Samsung commercial for this particular artist. But like during the commercial, like during the taping of the commercial, was actually probably one of my worst day ever. Not because of Samsung, or because of what happened that day. Actually, I still remember the date. It was 12th May 2022. That was the day we taped the commercial for this piece. And during the whole like taping process, I was so stressed out, because like the whole like yeah, I got into crypto, I got into Bitcoin and all that. And that day was when I think that was the Luna day. I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with the whole saga when it comes to crypto and all that, but yeah, that was when one of the biggest project kind of like
Drop.
took a plunge.
Yeah.
And yeah, like it was they're definitely rubbed. And then like I didn't get into that project, but I definitely got the windfall. I got like the what do you call it, like what's the word, like contagion, you know, it's contagion effect. And
Okay.
I definitely got the worst of it. So yeah. That was just a background story on that particular project.
Oh, that's all right. That's,
Uh,
I mean, yeah, the whole,
This was
kind of crypto
during the
thing is-
pandemic. There was a demand on people wearing masks and all that.
That's cool.
And yeah, and I remember like back then people just like wearing all this kind of like crappy looking, like surgical masks. And I'm like, you know what? Like if people are gonna be wearing this, make sure they look awesome.
That's cool.
Have you done any other? I mean, this is kind of falls in the tech wear vibe, right? Have you done any other, actual, clothing pieces beyond these masks?
I have actually, but then again, I felt like my aesthetics kind of changes with the time. There was definitely a time where like it's kind of funny that they name it tech wear now. But yeah, it definitely changes. And right now, I even almost want to avoid the term tech wear, and I don't even.
Okay.
I'm not even a big fan of how it's being presented, in public when it comes to tech wear. Okay, let's be real, right? Like if you go along, like I don't know, like Rodeo Drive or I don't know wherever, right? New York, and how many people do you see actually wearing, like tech wear?
No.
You don't.
You don't really see them. It's
Yeah.
because they look awesome on picture,
Right.
but when it comes to applications, yeah, they don't really translate. You look almost like doing a cosplay
Right.
when you're. This might be controversial. This is something I shouldn't say this part out loud. But
You're good here,
yeah,
man. We're among friends.
Yeah.
yeah. But I've always had a kind of like a weird kind of like vibe whenever I'm looking at people wearing techwear in public. It's probably because again, it's okay to want to be seen, but like it seems a little bit kind of like overt. Like look at me. It has a kind of like a pick me vibe. You know.
Right.
So
Okay.
yeah, like and also like once you see them worn in public, yeah, like you're gonna wear that every day wherever you go. Like nah. Like, so yeah, they're not like tech wear. Like I felt like they're not very applicable to like um maybe they're a time in the future. I don't know. Maybe like you can use them for like snowboarding and things like that. I think that would look cool.
Sure.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying when it comes to like the day to day
Yeah.
kind of application, it's kind of no. Like
There's
you
there's
look
a
like
way
a
to
ninja maybe if you were on Tokyo and all that. Uh, but yeah, like not for me. Let's just say so.
Gotcha.
Like I've been moving away. Actually, like this kind of aesthetics visual when it comes to like putting graphics, on things, right? Like
Mhm.
I've been doing that since like I don't know, since before this whole kind of like tech where like cyberpunk thing was a thing. Like well, I don't want to say it was a thing. Was super popular in the last like I don't know like 6 years, right? Like if you go to Pinterest or if you see like techwear or cyberpunk, this is the type of like visual language that you'll see. Um, but yeah, actually, like I've been doing this kind of thing since like back in 2011. You can see when I first posted about this, and then like when God Complex started.
I mean, I think it
But
looks great on the action figures, but I totally
Yeah.
agree with the
yeah,
sentiment of wearing it out in public. There's a time and place.
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So yeah, and also like okay, this is probably one of the few things that I'm gonna because people kept like oh you must be inspired by this you must be inspired by this artist like okay like I get that, but the thing is my approach to design is a little bit different. Like if you see like there's a lot of this Chinese artists and all that, they're using a lot of like these lines, this graphic like graphic elements as kind of like just to fill up like negative spaces, fill up negative spaces with a lot of these graphics. Well my approach has never been that. My approach has always been kind of like how do we use these graphic elements to enhance the subject matter. So I use it kind of sparingly and as needed. Whereas, I felt like when it comes to the new age, like of this graphical movement, people are just using this graphics everywhere. Just if there's a chance to put graphics in, just put it there. Like so.
Right.
Yeah, like I have a little bit of different approach. So the graphics used to supposed to enhance the subject matter, not distract from it.
Okay.
I mean,
Yeah.
looking at these designs, I do think that, not only the posture of the characters that you're portraying here, but what they are wearing definitely helps portray their personality. So what you're, communicating with your graphic work, the designs that you're using here, I definitely think comes across.
Yeah.
And I think it's awesome, man. I want more of these in 1/12 scale, and I know you're working on it, but
Yeah. You'll be surprised on what I'm cooking next. Yeah, I think you'll like it. I hope you'll
Okay.
like it. Actually.
Okay.
okay.
Yeah.
Um, That's awesome. That's awesome. Let's see. I'm going through my questions here just to make sure I don't miss anything that was really good. We've talked about your design process and stuff, but I think you alluded to your wife helps you with some of the soft goods. How does that interaction work? Is there like push and pull, or are you like, here's the design, just go and make it? Or, you know, I imagine that's kind of interesting because of the family dynamic too, right?
Right. Actually, that's more of when we first started. I think the first few years, she definitely have a lot of hand when it comes to the crafting, like the patterning on the clothing and the design itself. She has a lot of hand in those things. You know, I just kind of like back then we worked more closely in terms of kind of like, what would this character wear? You know, how would we tackle it? I like this kind of vibe. So, you know, like what are the references that you have to tackle this? Yeah, we would go back and forth, kind of like, oh, this might fit and all that. But as the team
That's
grew,
sick.
yeah, like right now we have a pattern maker. So and right now probably I just asked my wife, you know, like, hey, do you think this looks good with this character? You know, like what's this like? I just showed her like a sketch or something, and then she was like, that looks good. Okay, and then we move over to like the pattern maker and all that. So yeah.
This is very Batman Beyond, and I love it.
Thank you. Yeah, I think this was back in 2017. Yeah, the company I work with, they purchased a license to produce Batman, and then yeah, I got to design a Batman. Of course, I said hell yes.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, so even with this Batman, I like. I had a wish this actually could turn into like its own kind of like a spin-off comic, but
That would be
it
cool.
never happened. But the idea is actually it's kind of weird that we're talking about this now, because this was back in 2017, 16 actually. So we're still kind of like in that weird transition when it comes to the world politics. You know, like how like the world view. You know, like back then, good is still good, and bad is still bad. You know, even though we're at the transition. So that's when I crafted this. Actually, it's when, you know, like the world's perception of what bad is good is completely shifted. So, like when I decided to do this Batman, I decided to make him demonic almost, kind of like. But he's
Yeah.
actually a good guy. He's like that's why like his visual language is actually kind of like more like a vampire. You know. Whereas I have like another version, actually, like I have a design of the Joker that's never got to be produced. The Joker actually looks more almost like a religious figure.
Okay.
So it's kind of like shifted. The bad is good, the good is bad, kind of thing. Like, but it's not the actual character that is good or bad. It's just the world perception around them.
Right.
In this world, this Batman is seen as a villain, even though he's not. And then like vice versa. Joker was seen as good, even though
But
he's
he's
bad.
not. Right.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
I like fresh takes on stuff like that. That, you know, it's a different take, because you can't just keep doing the same thing over and over and over. So I
Yeah.
like ideas like this and concepts like this. It looks really good.
Thank you. Yeah. Yeah, I wish it had its own spin-off. But yeah, again, it didn't happen. But yeah, it's interesting that we look at the world now, and that's actually what it is.
So is this an actual figure you produced, or was this kind of like a one-off?
No, this is they got to produce it.
Oh, awesome. Awesome.
Yeah, they got to produce it. But I think there's I don't remember, but there's a mishap when it comes to like the licensing agreement. So yeah, to be honest, I'm not sure when it comes to the selling aspect.
Okay.
Like I just got to design this thing. So
Yeah. It looks really cool, man. And seeing it as an actual figure is really wild. Oh, look, you did your own modern
Stormtrooper?
Stormtrooper.
That's cool.
yeah,
I dig it. That's awesome.
I think When did I post it? Is it like 4th of May or something?
Oh, it just says 513 weeks
Go,
ago.
go,
Oh,
go to
May
the,
19th, May 9th, 2026. Or
go to
20,
the Vader.
Oh, May 9th. So a week after May 4th. Then
Yep.
yeah, I was.
Show me the Vader. I love Vader. Show me the Vader. That's sick. That's sick.
That's cool, man.
I'm seeing these for the first time, so this is awesome.
Yeah, yeah.
Ah, thank you. Yeah, back then Star Wars was still cool.
Yeah.
That's unfortunate the way that things have changed, like you said. But all right, I'm gonna change over because I think we need to focus in a little bit on what you're doing now versus some of the older stuff here. Let me pull up your shop. So as I showed off earlier, you're now working in the 1/12 scale figure kind of area, and I think they're awesome. You know, I've got the Inari figure. I'm looking forward to more that you're coming out with and stuff. But was it just trying something new that got you doing the 1/12, or why did you move away from the 1/6 stuff?
Again, I think I said, you know, like my collecting habit kind of changes, and it kind of, you know, like sometimes like what I produce kind of reflects that. You know, like I think about 10 years ago, like I collected a lot of hot toys. You know, a lot of them.
Yeah.
But then again, you know, like as with everyone, we kept running out of space, so I just kept boxing them. You know,
Yeah.
like I switch them back in, I box them, and then I switch other characters back in. So yeah, it hasn't been a fun process actually. So you know what, like, and yeah, at some point I just decided to kind of like, you know what, like let's just go with the smaller scale. You know, I felt like they're more, you know, like first of all, I felt like smaller scale are way more fun to play with than bigger scale. You know, like there's a lot of like finicky thing when it comes like to the bigger scale. So yeah, like and also again, you know, I felt like when it comes to 1/6 scale, like the production cost increases, and like yeah, and the market doesn't capture it as much. So we just going with the flow actually, you know. And
Okay.
yeah, I started collecting Mesco, and I started collecting like those Mayfax
Sure.
figures, and I was like, oh wait, like yeah, like a smaller scale can be done like in a such high quality manner too, because back then there was none of that, right? Like back then it was like 1/12 is probably only what like Legends,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
yeah, I really I'm not quite a big fan of how they look, you know, especially when it comes to the pack hole, you know. Like, I don't know why American company kept doing it, kept doing the same thing when it comes to the pack hole.
We don't
when it
know
comes to the
either.
articulations. So yeah, like
That's really
but then,
interesting.
like
because, like my
Masco
collecting
Mafax
habits.
came out with their stuff, I'm like,
Yeah.
you know what? Let's do my spin on this.
Let's give it a shot. That very much mirrors my journey too, because I was pretty strictly Hot Toys 1/6 scale things for a while, and I came across a Mezco figure, much like you did, and I was like, "Wait, this is really cool." I think it was the Mezco Moon Knight figure, and I was like, "Man, that actually looks really good." And I managed to pick one up, and I was like, this is fun to play with, because the 1/6 scale, you kind of put in a single pose and you sit it and that's it, you know, or at least you don't play with it as much. Whereas 1/12 scale, I feel like it's much more, you know, you can pick it up, you can play with it, you can put it back down. You don't have so much, you know, fiddliness. And also there's the fear of the cost. You know, you've got a whole lot of money tied up in a 1/6 scale figure. You want to be careful with it. Not that you don't with the 1/12, but it's a lot easier to stomach, you know.
Yep. No, that's the biggest part of it. Actually, it's the cost too, right? Like I can't play with I can't play those with my kids, you know. Like my kids want to touch them, and I was like, no, don't touch those things, right? Like, but when it comes to the smaller figures, I feel like, just go ahead, just play with it.
So I do want to say that just now, I went and purchased an NRE figure coming to my house. So I just made a purchase.
Oh,
God
hey, let's
Complex
go.
figure
Appreciate it. Thank you.
coming to the house. So I just purchased an Inari figure. It's that cool. So I can't wait to get
Hope you
that in
enjoy it,
hand and see what it's like. You know, I'm sold. That happens a lot on this show.
It does.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
You included these.
I should do this more often then.
Yeah.
I didn't think about the, like the. Oh, nice. Yeah, that's the card.
This card is really slick, man.
Yeah.
I love the. It's got this cool texture and then the holographic like finish on it. That's really neat.
Thank you. Yeah. Also, like that's again, right? Like what I produce actually kind of like mimics of kind of like where I'm at that moment usually. And like right now I'm big into cards. I've been collecting, like Digimon, Pokemon, basketball, NBA cards, since I was young. And then like not Digimon and Pokemon. I used to collect a lot of NBA and X-Men cards.
Yeah. X-Men cards are really cool. I had a lot of those.
Yeah. And then I'm sure it's been having resurgence in the past years. And yeah, I just decided to, like I wanna make my art into this format too. So yeah, what better way to do that than with these figures? So
I like it, man. I like it a lot. You've got the collector friendly packaging where you can open it up and close it back up. You've got a nice array of hands and accessories. I do one minor critique, or actually I have two minor critiques, if you will. I think you should include a couple extra wrist pegs and ankle pegs just in case. And I also do like on coats, if you can open the pocket so you can take a hand off and put it in there and make it look like the character's got hands in pockets. Just throwing that out there.
Well, the pockets?
Yeah,
you can do that, no?
1 second. Let me come over to my desk. Oh, and I gotta add the camera. 1 second. Add camera. This is because of my technical issues that I had earlier. And it's going to be upside down. That's great. Let's do this. So it's a little visible there. It'd be cool if these pockets kind of like the flap lifts up, but unless I'm wrong, it doesn't actually open up, does it?
It does.
Oh my God, it does. It does. Hey,
now you got what you want.
It. That's cool. Yeah, because I've always liked to, I'll take a hand off at the wrist peg, and you can, kind of put it in the pocket and make it look like.
I did the same thing.
That's cool.
If you see one of my latest reels, the Inari posing reels, like that's literally like the pose that he does. Like,
okay.
And in the pocket.
Okay. I love the figure, man. And hey, one less little thing. I messed with it earlier today and I was like, oh yeah, it'd be cool if it had, and sure enough, I just didn't look close enough. But today was a hectic day. This is the figure that Trey just ordered.
Yeah.
Man, I love the design, dude. Somebody asked me if this was, something like Devil Toys or things like that, man. And I think you should take that as a compliment because they are well known for, cool stuff. And I think you need more, more visibility in the 12 scale space.
Thank you.
So that was one of the specific reasons I was like, man, we got to have you on,
Evil Stick ordered one too.
I think when it comes to production capability, I have to give it to like Devil Toys. They did such a good job on their production because I know how finicky producing this can be.
Yeah.
And this is not an excuse, but again, due to limitations of locations, I don't have access to that kind of production.
Gotcha.
Unless I'm gonna, increase the pricing by, like how many X,
Right.
like the production cost doesn't make sense for me to produce from China.
Yeah.
Whereas, for someone like Devil, I felt like it's much easier for them to produce those things that I don't have access to. A lot of this again, a lot of the thing that we produce, actually all of them are in a way handcrafted and hand painted.
Very
So
cool.
yeah, it's not like we have like access to like factory with like a few hundred workers,
Right. Yeah.
like so yeah, that's the thing. So that's why like I say, when it comes to the production capable, like process, like yeah, they definitely did such a good job. But
Yeah.
that's why like I'm not really focusing on kind of like the production itself. I definitely put a lot of emphasis on designs because yeah, that's my forte, I feel.
Well, I mean, you've nailed the design on these things, and it sounds like you've already got a couple of orders from our alliance members in chat here. So
Yeah.
that's exciting.
Appreciate it, guys.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Look for more.
And hey,
Get addicted.
the fact that you were saying that these are like so handmade, hand produced, I think that's awesome, man. The fact that you're able to churn out this quality, doing that, I'm really impressed by. So yeah, I'll
The
show
same
off
four
the
people
packaging.
that's been producing for my 6 scale and 12 scale for the past like 10 years are what like on your hands right now.
Cool. Well, so this is the card back as I'm showing here. And you've got, a little write-up of the fox, some poses, some cool design on that. And it does come in very much like the collector-friendly case where you can,
Nice.
Just slide it out. You've got a base with a sticker that you can put on the top. There is like a figure arm to hold him in place. And then, yeah, you've got a number of extra hands and stuff to swap out with it. He's got a couple of cool swords that have their sheaths that you can, like I was trying to kind of show earlier. They fit into this cool soft goods kind of like sleeve, and then you have your sheaths on the swords too, man. Goose. Oh my God.
What did he
Yeah.
say?
You want me to slide it out a little slower for you? Oh, look at that. Here you go.
So
come out this way some too. Okay.
how's the articulation, Alan?
The articulation is very good.
Okay, cool. Because I want to
there-
get it in some crazy, wicked martial arts poses.
Yeah.
and stuff,
So, I mean, what's really impressive also about the figure itself is the fact that you've got like the right kind of slack around the elbows and the knees.
yeah.
So you can do, full bends of the
Yeah.
double joints on the legs and full bends of the joints on the arms.
You can look at it and tell that the coat's not hindering the movement of the figure, so that's awesome.
Right,
You
yeah.
You
It
get a lot of
looks like you
Mezco, and you can't do that. The Mezco Red Hood was a big one of those. Red Hood
Yep.
has a leather jacket on, and you can barely move his arms around. Can't get his guns up to do that pose because
Yeah.
of the soft goods, the leather soft goods on it. So yeah, that's
It
awesome.
also comes with the design actually. With some designs, with Inari specifically, I definitely want him to be playable. So that's why when I designed him, I I made sure like the kind of like bulky, more kind of like winter aesthetics. Because usually when it comes to winter aesthetics and with like the big jacket, it's much easier to post and it's much easier to kind of like to play with than like for example with my 1/6 scale, right? Like some of my characters kind of like Apollo, right? I have to say I love the design like of like how regal he is, but at the same time his design kind of hinders a lot of that kind of like crazy poses or the playability. So even when we're doing kind of like the photo shoot of the character, it's not as fun as some of the other characters, kind of like Inari, that are way more kind of like dynamic,
Yeah.
in nature. So yeah,
That's a
I think
tough
depending
line
on the character
Oh.
also, sometimes the posting can proves to be challenge, quite a challenge, and also depending on how tightly fit like the clothings are, right? like some characters, they have a more form-fitting figures and designs, and usually those are kind of, the clothing aspect can hinder some of the movement.
Well, absolutely.
So
Yeah. Yeah, I mean that seems like a tough balance to strike, and
yeah,
the design of this one definitely helps. The movability. Does the figure have a full butterfly joint? It looks like it does. Yeah, that's really cool.
it does actually.
Yeah, very nice, man. I love butterfly joints. I think you did make some sacrifices to get the super cool looking shoes.
Yeah,
Because there's
that's
not a lot
yeah, you
of
notice
side
that.
to side there. You have plenty of forward and back. It's kind of just on a standard ball joint, but it's not really forward facing. So you kind of have to make some decisions there on how you're going to move it. But man, that's my only complaint. And that's a nitpick. So
Yeah.
I'm digging it. I like it a lot. Can we ask what's next?
You'll see soon actually.
Okay.
I'm about to do some announcement in about a week or so.
Okay. Do you think one of the questions that I definitely saw in chat was, do you think you're going to try to hit most of your 1/6 scale library of figures and bring them into 1/12?
That's the plan. So yeah, please keep supporting this so I can actually do that.
Hey man, that's what the Alliance is here for.
Yeah, exactly. We love showcasing this. This is great work, and happy to get one of these in my collection and see what it's like, and looking forward to getting it.
So Stick asks, are your
someone just asked?
Scales... Sorry, go ahead.
No, I just read the question.
Yeah.
Were you about to highlight this question?
Yes, I was.
Okay, go ahead.
I was just going to ask, are you going to be releasing them in groups of 3, or will there be individual releases, or what do you think?
Yes. Sometimes 3, maybe 2. I haven't yet planned for a single releases because I do feel like these guys work as a group. But maybe there will be kind of like special editions, like when I'm doing cons and things like that. Who knows? But right now, I'm definitely thinking of them in terms of kind of like pairings or groups.
Okay. Makes sense. Okay, so big question here. What does success look like, future success look like for Complex, Bryan, the whole thing? What are you shooting for? What would you like to see happen? What is that goal that means that you've hit your milestone?
I want to answer this thoughtfully. I mean, the easiest thing for me right now to see this, to see my characters on a screen, probably on some streaming services and things like that.
Nice.
Like to have some of those kind of like, more obvious goals, actually being achieved. I'm working on it, so crossing fingers.
Nice.
But then again, the question is not that, right? The question is kind of like, what is success to you like? Yeah, I'm still struggling with that.
So
it was a good one.
Question.
Coming off of that, my question is, if you did go to a show, you had some kind of show, like let's say it was Netflix or wherever, would you want it to be live action or like anime or
no anime?
Anime? Nice.
Anime. I love anime. I love watching anime. I love the with live action. No, I love live action, but then there hasn't, like, except for One Piece, I felt like there hasn't been any good adaptation when it comes to this this medium. But I felt like this character deserved a lot of kind of like ultra bombastic kind of like like dynamic movement that can only be satisfied with anime.
Right.
Cool. Okay.
A lot of the effects, a lot of the fight scenes, a lot of the cool encounters. You know, I felt like they can only be enhanced with anime, whereas with live action, I felt like it probably not gonna look right.
Okay, I like it.
Yeah.
Have you seen things like Invincible and some of the recent kind of stuff out? What do you think about
Yeah,
that?
I love the first season of Invisible. I haven't caught up on the second season, but I love the first season.
Okay, that's cool. Yeah, I'm really.
I know there's a
appreciating-
lot of production issue when it comes to the first season.
Yeah. Well, it's slow.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, okay. Well, cool, man. I think we've exhausted most of the questions that I had. Is there anything specific you want to tell us about what you're working on or what we should be looking for? Or is it just keep an eye on this space?
Sorry, can you repeat that question again? I kind of lost you for a bit there.
Oh, that's all right. I'm kind of wondering, like, if there's anything you specifically want to hit that we haven't gone over, or specifics that you want to talk about, or anything. I've tried to kind of, give us a wide berth of different things, but want to make sure I, cover everything that I can.
I don't know actually. I come in with no agenda, so kind of like I just plan to come here just to chill, talk about figures, talk about I don't know, like shows, TV, movie, anime, or whatever. So
yeah.
Awesome.
Okay. Well, let me ask you this. Let's push this back to our guest screen so we can have your QR code up there. What is your favorite figure in your collection right now?
My favorite. It's kind of old, actually. Like my old mecha figures, my old mecha kits from Zone of Enders.
Okay.
I don't know if you're familiar with the game. It was an old PS2 game. You know, like I have this old Kotobukiya kit. Like I love. I think you also can tell that a lot of my design language comes from those games, and like I like the Anubis kit. I like the Jehuti kit. Those are probably my favorite pairing in my collection. What else? You mean recently or kind of like all around, like in among all my collections?
Your choice. Your choice.
I should have prepared for this kind of answer that I should have expected.
That's all right.
It's okay.
We're putting you on the spot. It's also very early, so
yeah.
Yeah. I love one of my favorite is my PG Gundam Unicorn kit.
Okay.
That remains next to my workstation. That's definitely one of my favorite. Yeah.
All right. Cool.
Awesome, man. Awesome. Well, maybe next time you come on the show after something comes out and we can talk about something new. Maybe you come back, show us some of your favorite figures, and we'll talk about that stuff in a future episode. So this is awesome, man. I've enjoyed talking with you, man. It's really cool.
No, likewise.
Look forward to what you're working on and seeing where life takes you and what you continue to come out with, man. I'm behind you all the way. I think you got a lot of new fans here in the Alliance. So, man, looking forward to seeing your future.
Appreciate it, guys.
Cool.
Oh, to answer like Goose, your friend earlier.
Yeah.
I think the flavor would be vanilla strawberry.
Okay.
I like it.
Cool. Goose did also ask a question that I didn't catch here. What's your best or what is the best anime you've seen recently?
Recently. I just watched Dan Dan Dan. Dan Dan was awesome.
Okay.
Yeah, like even though it can be quite random. Zom 100 was definitely one of my favorite too.
Okay.
I don't know, are you familiar with Zom 100?
I'm not. I am familiar with Dan to Dan. I haven't watched it yet, but it's on a list. I don't watch a whole lot of TV, but I do make time here and there for some things. I'm still working through the Neon Genesis Evangelion movies right now.
You mean like the recent one, the
Yeah, I just finished 2.0.
2.0? Okay, you're
Yeah.
getting into the mind, like mind shattering type of things. Even though, like, to be honest, like, I don't do anyone actually get what the story is.
I don't think so.
Uh,
I don't think so. I'm just
I
there
just
for the
I
big
just
robot.
collect the cool mech. I have no idea what the story was about.
Yeah.
Like, I only get the first movie. After that, I'm just like, they completely lost me.
And hey, man, you get cool figures out of it too, so I'm fine. It's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Blockies is doing those figures now too. Those are in
Yeah.
the lineup for Blockies. So I've recently been on a Blockies kick with Transformers, and but they're coming out with all kinds of stuff. So yeah, that's definitely on.
Man, those guys, like those blockies. I don't know what else. Keepley, YOLO Park. I don't know how they do it, man. They can produce such a high. Oh, ZD Toys. Those guys are crazy.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how like $20 with that amount of detail and articulation is just like, I don't know. Like I felt
devastating.
like I have that.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah, I have that. Actually, like, I collected those with my kid. Like, yeah, like, definitely, like, those guys, like the Chinese companies. There's definitely rewiring our brain when it comes to figure collecting. Kind of like now, like, because of what they produce, for some reason it's kind of hard for me to get into, like, kind of like this $300 figures. You know,
when I could get this, but I had to get this little cutesy Optimus Prime, and I didn't want this to begin with, but now I got them all ordered, so I mean, I'm hooked. So
no, the Defender series, actually, they're pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Like the design, like the aesthetic, like when it comes to the format and the I want to say the proportions. I felt like they nail it in that. Like they
do.
They completely nail it. Yeah.
Awesome, man.
And especially their Pokemon figures, man. The Bloki's Pokemons, like, with their price point, like, it's just ridiculous.
This is Optimus.
Ridiculously good. Like,
Optimus takes his son to work day.
I can see it from the background. What do you collect there in your background?
All right, so me or him, both of us. So these are all.
You guys can take turn.
These are all Transformers that I started last year. I went really hard at Transformers. These are vintage G.I. Joe from when I was a kid. I bought a lot of these within the past 2 years. So yeah, the Transformers here. These are all Hasbro Transformers, and then the vintage G.I. Joes. A lot of comics down here. I do read a lot of comics. I went to my local comic book store today and got the latest G.I. Joe and Transformers issue. If you've not read Transformers 30, get on it. It's something huge. Probably one of the biggest Transformers issues to come out in the past 10 years. It's awesome. I want people to read it so I can talk to them about it. And I want action figures from it.
Okay.
So
I have a question for you, actually, since you're a Transformer fan. Like, I don't know. This is kind of like an icky thing to speak about in this forum, but, like, what's your take on third-party figures? Because, yeah, like, do you collect them?
So funny you ask. I got my first third-party figure yesterday. First third-party figure is I had Camshaft as a kid in G1, and so I got this X Transbots. It's my first third-party figure for Transformers, and
your first masterpiece, right?
My first masterpiece scale figure, first third-party. So I really like it. It was not fun to transform with all the foldy panel things. It was there was no instructions. It came in this little box, and there was no instructions. So I had to. Luckily, there was videos on YouTube, and I went and found those and transformed it. But
I'm just lolling at what Goose said. Like, I think this guy's really funny.
yeah, yeah, he is. Yeah, okay, but then again, like, I got this at my local comic book store today too. So this is the Shiny series. You shake it and the light comes on. You can't see it because it's so bright, but this is the Ultra Magnus from the Shining series. And so yeah, I've really been obsessed with blockies lately. They're fun to put together. They look cool. They don't take up a lot of space, and yeah, I'm enjoying
They also have like the Sensei that I mentioned. You're gonna like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. We definitely veered off course with talking about our own collections.
Yeah.
That's all right, man.
I thought that's what this conversation was supposed to be for.
Yeah.
Just having fun talking.
Exactly. We're just here chilling, having a good time. Trey, did you have anything else new that you wanted to show off?
Yeah, so I got this guy, which is a Soldiers of Fortune figure, but he came with a certain head sculpt, so you could make that hooded Cobra Commander finally. So I actually did, if you can see, put a water slide on with the Cobra symbol, and
Okay, maybe you can get to something interesting here. Actually, I'm curious about something, right? We haven't seen any new GI Joe movies, or I don't know, like, do they still make the comics, right? Like, do you still even like consume their contents?
Yeah, the comics. I read comics today. There's GI Joe 326 was out, so they're up to 326 and a Real American Hero.
Stuff, yeah?
And then the Energon universe, Transformers and GI Joe are crossing over. So actually, Robert Kirkman is writing the current Transformers book. But there's a ton of stuff right now. If you've not read Energon universe stuff, the crossover between GI Joe and Transformers and Void Rivals, definitely check it out. They're coming out with trade paperbacks. They're coming out with deluxes now. Great way to pick it up. It's very good.
Yeah.
Like I said, today
we don't have a lot of access to American comic books here. We have to buy it from Kinokuniya, but they usually have like the older stuff. They never have like the newer stuff. So maybe I need to import it, or when I decided to visit US, or like where are you guys located at, by the way?
in North Carolina, right outside of Raleigh, North Carolina. We live about 15 minutes away from each other, so not even that. 10 maybe.
So I can foresee a trade of comic books for action figures if you would like there, Brian.
We can make that happen.
Nah, I have no more space for a new comic thing. Like, yeah.
That's all right. Well, I got one new thing I do want to show off. Got to do. Where am I? I'm all mixed up.
Retro Hound.
Here we go. This is pretty cool. I just got him in this week, or should I say them in this week.
Oh, nice.
Oh, wow. Is that a He-Man?
No, this is Mythic Legions.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so this is from the brand new wave. So you got a barbarian riding on a bear.
A bear.
And it's gorgeous.
The bears.
It is a very nice figure. The articulation is pretty limited, but man, the bear is awesome. As a matter of fact, the bear comes with an alternate head and a neck, so you can have him stand up. So you can have the bear.
That's a cool head sculpt.
Yeah, and it looks great.
Oh, that's sick.
Looks great.
Yeah.
And then I also got, to go along with that, barbarian chick or Viking lady.
Okay, so is this the one that had the red-headed head sculpt that...
No,
it's not the same one? Okay.
No, that's a convention one. I think it might be a recolor of this head, though. But yeah, both are Mythic Legions figures. I don't get a ton from them, but man, every once in a while, like this bear dude, they knocked it out of the freaking park. Good stuff.
Nice.
So
remind me of like the kind of like, yeah. I there was a time where I used to be obsessed with like Frank Frazetta.
Mm-hmm.
Oh right.
Stuff. Death Dealer and all that.
There's a death dealer coming from Savage Crucible. It's gonna be nice.
Yeah, absolutely. Can't wait for that. Well, I think on that note, we've hit our general standard cutoff time. And I think we've covered a ton, Bryan. And I want to say thank you so much for, taking a chance, getting out of your comfort zone and coming on the show with us. It is certainly been... What's that?
Thanks for the invite.
Hey, you're very welcome. We'll love to have you come back, maybe sometime in the future when you get some more things out you want to talk about. But hey, it was a good time, and I think I'm excited to see where things go for you, man.
All right, sounds good.
Awesome,
cool. Well,
Nice
with
to meet you
that,
guys.
Nice
we're going to sign off. So we appreciate everybody from coming out, and we will see you next time.
Thanks everyone for tuning in.
Later.
Yeah, we were on a mission, got my crew at my side. Scouring the shells, we're down for the ride. Plastic warriors all lined up tight. From the comic shop counters to the late night site. It's the thrill of the hunt, gotta make it mine. I'm out here searching, yeah, taking my time.